Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a pretty fun video. I think this is probably one of like the first times I'm jumping on a trend while it's still popular. I love that for myself. Give me a little like, what are this? Little finger snaps for me. So there has been this makeup look on Xiaohongshu and on Instagram. This look is like Baddie Xiaohongshu makeup, and so I am so excited to recreate it. I've seen like quite a few creators that I follow recreate this makeup look, so I was like, you know what, if everybody's recreating the makeup look, I want to recreate it too. This is the makeup look. I think she just looks so stunning. I think that she like typically does this style of makeup. I feel like the bangs kind of like add to the like allure that the look kind of has, but either way, I don't have bangs, I just have braids, but I really want to see if I can recreate this on my features, and I think it'll be a really pretty look. If you're excited to watch this recreation, go ahead and keep watching. Make sure you subscribe to my page and go ahead and comment down below a makeup look or trend you want me to try. I'm pretty good at trying trends. Typically it takes a little bit, but I'm still pretty good at trying them. I was also sent this like really beautiful Lancome Juicy tube lip gloss kit. I have a couple in there. I've already given one of them away to one of my sisters because I couldn't wait because it was so pretty. But I am going to go through and try some of the glosses. I feel like this brown gloss would be really pretty for this makeup look, so it's like perfect that I still have that one. But I have four because there's one that comes on the thing, so this is perfect. And I love a gloss, so this is like perfect. I'm going to turn this into a clutch. Like, that as a clutch would be like chef's kiss. This is so pretty. Would this be too big as a wristlet? Somebody please let me know. I don't think so though. Again, I hope you're really excited to watch this tutorial, and if you are, let's head right to it. So I'm going to go through and do this routine that I've been doing for a little bit that just helps my skin feel a little more hydrated and like there's a little more effort being put into the skin, especially because this makeup look is not going to have as many moving parts as other makeup looks that I've worn. So I love just doing this routine. I feel like it makes my skin feel so nice and hydrated. And again, making sure that the makeup process is really seamless, because putting makeup over dry, parched skin is never going to be a good look, especially because sometimes the makeup can peel or it can crack or it can settle into your creases because you don't have like a proper moisture barrier on top of your skin. Doing this routine is just something I like to do just to help my skin just put its best foot forward. I will also have all of these products linked down below in the description. I feel like it was going to take too long to go through everything. But if you guys want me to do a like skincare routine video, just like skincare, I can definitely do that. I have a lot of products that I can use. And then I also like using a lot of like affordable products, so it's not going to break your bank or your budget. So just let me know in the comments down below. Now that my skin is all prepped, I'm going to go in with the OLENS Big Glowy Lenses in the shade Mocha Brown. The inspiration photo, she's wearing like similar colored lenses, and these have like the highlighter effect where they have the two-tone, so it makes one part of your eye look really nice and bright. I think that is very flattering on brown eyes, so like little catch lights. And I love the way that these look on my face, and they just give me like a really cute effect, even though I know I'm going for a more baddie look, but this is all still really cute. To prime, going in with the NYX Bear With Me spray. This is one of my favorite priming duos. I like first going in with the spray and getting that all over my skin. I feel like it's a really nice base layer for my makeup, helping to like meld together skincare as well as all of the makeup products. Then as step 2 of the priming process, going in with the NYX Plump Right Back primer. This is such a nice plumping primer. I feel like it helps my skin just appear more youthful, and it has electrolytes, so I feel like it's pretty hydrating as well, and I feel like it just makes my skin look really nice and dewy. And it's pretty tacky, so makeup also has a better adhesion to it. To color correct, going in with the e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector in the shade Orange. I'm going to take this over all of my discoloration around my eyes, some old acne scarring, and then my burn scar. I feel like this is a really good color to help sort of like even out my base layer for my skin tone. And I feel like this also works really well with my concealers, because even though this is like orange tone, it's still pretty neutral in my opinion. I don't think it's too warm. And so I feel like it works well with my other neutral makeup that I put on and just kind of gives me a really nice base. Then using a powder puff, I'm going to go through and blend out all of that color corrector. I kind of go in between using brushes and powder puffs. The brush that I cleaned it, so I can't use it right now. And I really like using a powder puff. I feel like it helps get into like the crevices, and it just also helps blend out everything pretty well. And I always say like I love a really flat surface, or I love a dense brush, because I feel like those are the best products for blending everything out and make everything look or appear more seamless. To conceal, going in with the Milani Conceal Imperfect in the shade Warm Tan. I'm going to go go and use this to cover up everywhere I put that color corrector. That's everything I want to conceal. You can already see like the color corrector works pretty well. It's sort of just like canceling out any of the discoloration. And I'm just going to use this to help with the blending process to make my skin appear more seamless. And I'm not going to blend it out. I'm just applying it, but I will blend it out with my foundation. For my foundation, going in with my Parnell Cica Manu Serum Cushion in the shade 35 in Caramel. With my concealer still damp, I'm going to go over top of everything and blend that out. I saw somebody doing this over on Xiaohongshu. If I can find the person who I saw, I will leave their ad down below so you can go follow them. And I also remember, I've been out running, so this is not going to be a perfect foundation match, but in the end, it'll look pretty seamless. It is such a pretty like look, and the finish is so nice, and I feel like it looks a little less cakey because I feel like you don't have to put on as much foundation, because like the concealer is pretty full coverage and the foundation just kind of makes everything look really seamless and makes the skin look really flawless. And I love the way that this process turns out, especially when you're using a cushion foundation. It just looks so pretty. Excuse my paleness, we're gonna fix it right now. We're going to go in for my contour using the Made by Mitchell curve case, and I'm going to take the shades Shade and Laid in Chocolate Charm. I'm going to go in with these two shades to really carve out my face. The inspiration photo, she has a really like angled jaw and really defined cheekbones, and the size of her face is also pretty defined. So I'm going to go through and just like heavily contour around the perimeter of my face. Her lips are also pretty full, so I'm going to put contour on my upper and my lower lip just to help with that fullness. And then I also do my best to sort of mimic how she's doing her nose contour. She's doing some definition along her nose bridge in between her eyes, and then the nose tip seems really nice and rounded, so I'm also going to emulate that similar effect on me. BK Beauty's 101 brush to blend out the perimeter of my face. I love this brush. It's so nice and dense and makes really light work of all of my contour products. It is a really nice brush. I love the quality of these brushes. They're so dense and very thick, and I don't think I've had any issues with shedding. And again, they help blend out my contour pretty quickly, and it looks really like seamless on the skin. To blend out my nose contour, going in with this Real Techniques blending brush. I'm just going to follow where I put that nose contour and really blend that out. It really again makes light work of it, and again just mimicking the previous shape made by the contour. She draws out like the side shape a little far down because she wants to make her nose look really nice and bronzy, and I'm going to put a little bit of this shade on the center of my nose just to add that overall like sun kiss effect that she has. To highlight, going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealers in Tan Sand and Medium Peach. I'm going to first take Tan Sand over everywhere I want to highlight, around my eyes, on my chin, up my nose, and on my forehead, and a little bit on the sides of my nose to help bring in some brightness. And to lift those areas, I want them to kind of like come to the forefront, and adding a really light shade there will help that. Then going in with the lighter shade, Medium Peach, I'm going to use that to just add a little emphasis on certain parts. Like everywhere I already put that darker of the two highlight shades, but just in smaller quantities just as a highlight. Like this is just to add a little extra and emphasis. The BK Beauty 113 brush, I'm going to use that to blend out the center of my face, starting with my chin, blending that outward into the contour shade, just kind of making that look pretty seamless, as well as up on my forehead. Again, just blending that into the contour shade because I want the highlight, but I don't want it to be too stand out-ish. I want the face to look more natural, like you put like a blur filter on there, but just with makeup application. And I'm going to blend out the concealer on the sides of my nose, also blending that around my mouth and making that also appear more seamless. Then I'm going to go in with a triangle puff to blend out the rest of my face, kind of making sure that my nose contour stays intact while still highlighting and blending out that concealer. It is nice because it helps me get into all of the crevices, and I can be more precise with this as opposed to the brush because the tip of it is like a triangle puff. So the tip of it just helps me get into more detailed areas better. And I'm just going back in and slightly fixing my nose contour, rounding that tip. Also going into the curve case, going into the shade Where's the SPF. I'm going to take that all over my cheeks and on my nose, just focusing on the top of the apples of my cheeks. And I'm going to put a small amount on the balls of my cheeks, as well as a little on my nose. I'm going to go in with the reverse side of my triangle puff and use it to blend out all of that cream blush. Doesn't take very long to get everything all blended out, and it's just a nice little flush across my cheeks, and I think it looks really cute without being like overly pink or overly red. It just has a really nice like sultry effect on my face. To set my contour, going into the Juvia's Place Bronze palette in the shade Tan. I'm going to use this and a really nice fluffy brush to set all of my perimeter of my face. This is a really nice color. I feel like it works pretty well with my skin color, and it's pretty matte. There is no shimmer in this product, which makes it really nice when you're trying to set a contour. It just looks really nice on the skin and also just like helps mattify everything. Then using a small fluffy brush, I'm going to use that to set all of my nose contour. Just following the lines I previously created with the cream contour, and just add some nice definition to the nose, making the nose bridge look a little slimmer and really emphasizing the tip of the nose, making that look as round as possible. To set my face, going in with the Kaleido Symphony Face Illuminator in the shade Medium. I'm going to take this all over my face, setting the contour and the cream highlight. I feel like this does a really good job at setting everything and mattifying a look. I am going to add back like highlighter, and I'm going to finish my blush a little later, but I love making everything look as matte as I want it because I want to be able to add back in whatever highlight and make the overall look appear more matte with using the highlight to add emphasis as opposed to that being the focal point. Like if I wanted a more dewy look, I don't think I would do this step as heavy, but this is a pretty matte look. Her base is pretty matte with the highlight as an emphasis added to the look. To set the base layer of my makeup, going in with the NYX Bare With Me spray. I'm going to do a nice spritz all over the face just to help like the dry appearance that setting your face has, and just makes the skin appear more skin-like. NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Espresso. She has pretty straight natural brows, or pretty straight neutral brows, and I'm just going to fill them in a straight line. I grew my brows to appear more straight also, so this is a pretty simple like look for me. Like I don't have to like overline or do anything because my brows are pretty straight due to grooming. And I'm just going to fill them in and make them look as straight as possible. Then going in with the Milani Weekend Brow. Going to use this to add a little definition to the tails of my brows, and I feel like it helps them look a little fuller. Then going back in with those two brow products along the tops of my cheeks and the center of my nose, I'm going to do in some faint freckles. Like the inspiration, you want them to be faint and you don't want them to be as dramatic as like some freckling that you'll see on Xiaohongshu makeup. It's just like sun-kissed, and you want like the sun-kissed vibe with the freckles as well. I'm going to go in with my finger to blend and soften those out. For my eyes, going in with the P. Louise Wedding Wish palette. I'm going to first go into the shade Ring on it. And I'm going to use that all over my lid in a pretty like neutralizing shade. It's pretty similar to my skin color, so I feel like it does a pretty good job at just neutralizing anything that could be on my lid. Then to emphasize the All Sought After Eggyosal, first go into the shade Hashtag Wifey, and I'm going to sweep that along my lower lash line, completely covering up that bottom eye fat area. Next, going into the shade Endless Love. I'm going to use that to highlight my lower lash line, really going across where I put that darkness and leaving like the bottom edge there as like the bottom part of the eggyosal, and leaving the inner corner a little open. And I'm going to also drag that up onto my lid in like a windshield wiper motion to highlight that area also, to emphasize the nose contour against the side of my nose. Also going to take that shade underneath the eggyosal just to highlight that area and help bring some brightness there. Finally, going in with the shade Hitch on the inner corner and on the center of my lower lash line just to brighten those areas up a little bit. For my liner, going in with MZYZ's brown eyeliner. I'm going to use that to slightly and lightly line my upper lashes. You want it to be pretty faint. And you're going to do a little tiny baby wing on the upper lashes. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to line the upper part of where I put my eggyosal, and then I'm going to do some like emphasis to get 4 points on my eye to make it look like I clustered my lower lashes, but I'm going to do that with the liner. Then going into BBIA's Last Powder Pencil in the shade Banana Milk, and I'm going to use that on my waterline to go ahead and brighten that area up and add a little bit of differentiation between the darker shades because I just want to make my eyes appear more open. Go ahead and curl my lashes up to the gods. For my upper lashes, going to go into the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara in the shade Ultra Black. I'm going to do a couple coats to my upper lashes and really prep them for the false lashes I'm going to add. And I just like using mascara first because it gives the false lashes something to adhere to. Then I'm going to go into the Flower Nose Butterfly Cloud Color Collection mascara in the shade Brown. I'm going to use that on my lower lashes just to add some emphasis to those 4 little like lashes that I drew on, and also just again make my eye appear more open. Kaleidos Mono Blush in the shade Sanguine. I'm going to take that just over my nose bridge as well as the tops of my cheeks and a little bit on the balls of my cheeks, really lightly, just to give it a really nice sun-kissed glow. Flower Nose Little Angels Collection Embossed Highlighter in the shade Paradise Lost. I'm going to take this over all of the high points of my face and really concentrate it on the tip of my nose to help make that area just appear a little more rounded. And it's going to be a really nice, cute focal point of the look. And I'm just going to go in with that triangle puff just to calm down that highlight just a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply a pair of false lashes to my upper lash line, getting them as close to my natural lash as I possibly can. And then just clamping them together because it just makes my eye appear more open and it's really cute. Then I'm going to go back in with one last spritz of the NYX Bear With Me spray. For my liner, going in with the LA Colors lip liner in the shade Natural. I'm going to first use this to add a little definition to my Cupid's bow, just to make that area really pop because she has like a divot above hers. I'm going to recreate the same effect and then really go through and overline my upper and my lower lips. I want them to look as plump and as full as possible. Her lips and her eyes are kind of like the focal point as well as her nose. So I want to make all 3 areas really stand out but still feel more natural like the inspiration photo. Then going in with the Huda Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Game Night. I'm going to just put this over all of my lips. I love this shade. I feel like it looks pretty natural on me. I'm not going to put too much. I'm really going to concentrate it on my lower lip. I feel like this lip combination is pretty similar to her photo. And last but not least, we have to break into this beautiful thing. This is the Lancôme Juicy Tubes Original. It's so gorgeous. Again, I said I'm using it as a clutch or as like a wristlet. And it came originally with 4 shades, but as I said, I let my boyfriend's younger sister have one for her little like prom, but I still have 4. This is the one that comes with it. I will be keeping on here. Once I finish this, I'm going to go back in with these, but for this makeup look, I want to go in with this shade, and this is in Hallucination. But I also got Pure, Marshmallow Electro, as well as Magic Spell is the one that is going to become my like daily lip gloss. I'm really excited for people to ask me questions about that. I'm like, yeah, I got it as a gift. Oh, and then again, this is PR from Lancome. I did not purchase this. This was sent to me and this was gifted. This is not a paid sponsorship. They just like, I'm on their PR list, so this is not sponsored. So let's go into the review. I just thought it was so pretty and I was like, I'd love to use that for a video. Absolutely what I was going for. Oh, it smells like Mambas. If you ever had the candy Mamba, I had one like a week ago, so that's why it's really familiar to me. This smells just like that candy. Oh my goodness. I'm also going to overline my lips with the gloss. Hope you can see me. Yeah, that's stunning. I think this is going to be the final look. I'm going to change and I'll be right back. I think this is going to be the final look. I'm actually like really happy with the way that this turned out. Like sometimes when you're recreating a makeup look, you're like, is it cute because the person is pretty or is the makeup look recreatable? And don't get me wrong, I think I'm pretty, but like some makeup looks like really shine on certain people's features. But I feel like this looks really cute on me, like twisting it a little bit to suit like my nose is bigger, my face is a little rounder. I have like an oval shaped head and it looked like she had like a heart shaped head, so her jaw is going to be more narrow and I can like do as much contour as I want to try to like narrow my jaw, but I still have an oval shaped head and I think it looks really pretty on my oval shaped head. Comment down below letting me know what you think of the makeup. Again, I think it turned out super pretty, like genuinely pretty. Happy with how this turned out. I also am going to leave a link to all of my other social media down below because like now that like I have a bunch of different social media accounts, I'm going to be like uploading like this is like what I upload on TikTok, this is what I upload on Instagram, as opposed to doing like uploading everything everywhere, because like there are some videos that like more people are interested in this style of video on TikTok, or more people are interested in this style of video over on Instagram. So I'm going to be like divvying up where I upload. So make sure you follow me on all of my social media platforms so you can stay tuned to all of the content that I upload. I just opened up a Facebook page, so please go ahead and go down below and follow or like my Facebook page, because I'm really trying to go on Facebook as well, because I feel like a lot of people do a lot better on Facebook, because I feel like it has more users. So please go ahead and follow my Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on your post notifications, and I love you guys so much. If you want to stay and like watch me look cute, just keep watching.